from Eleanor Darden Thompson.
I want to thank Georgia Brown for holding this forum. I want to thank all of you for coming out. What I'm most proud of is to see children, that you bring your children so that they begin the political process and understand what it really means to be a civic-minded person. Out of the pit that covers me, plaque is a bit for both the poles. I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. But it's not whatever God. I do have a God, and He is the Almighty, and He covers me. It is an honor and a privilege to be here. I have been this last Saturday 40 years a lawyer. I handed my mother on Mother's Day my law degree from Howard University and said, this is the last piece of paper I will hand to you. It's very emotional for me to stand in this park. As a little girl, I lived right across the street at 1317 Northeast Grand Boulevard. My mama used to stand me there and she'd say, run, baby. And I'd run to the median. She'd say, stop, look both ways. Then she'd say, run, baby. And I would come to Edwards Park. My dad taught at Douglas High School. He left here when he got a job as a journalist at the Kansas City Star, so we moved to Kansas City, Missouri. But my mom is from Wewoka, so frequently we came back to Oklahoma to visit relatives. I cried like a baby when I came back and saw I-35 had taken away my pretty Grand Boulevard. One of the things that we're going to have to learn to do as a community is to stand together and stay put. Stand together and demand that our communities not be moved and shoved when the next project comes along. I want to fight and work for this community. When you see my literature, and I have walked the district, you will not see 10 points on my literature, but I will say 4 things to you. Number 1, I will represent the needs of the district because I understand what the word represent means. It's not about Eleanor going, though this woman does belong in the house. It's not about her going over there doing what she wants to do. It's to represent the needs and the wishes of the community. That's number 1. After retiring from the United States Department of Justice as an attorney 5 years ago, I kind of practiced a little bit, and I kept hearing about the conditions of the schools, and I thought, both of my parents were educators. I was born at Southern University when they taught there. My brother was born at Ohio State University. I said, let me see what I can do to help. If I'm not helping, I can't complain. And folks, it is as bad as they say that it is, but it is not hopeless. So for the past 2 years, I have been a substitute teacher in the Oklahoma City School District. Since August the 5th, say for the sixth snow days, I have taught every day this year. Basically, I have done 7th and 8th grade math on the South Side because my Spanish is I speak it and understand it well enough to manage with that language. When I'm not doing 7th and 8th grade math, I have been at Northeast and I've done algebra and pre-calc. My certification is a secondary. I have taught marketing at Emerson. I do the finance and those kind of classes. I'm familiar, therefore, with education inside and out, as my mom was a member of the North Central Accreditation Board. Our schools are salvageable, but we don't have the resources, and there's a maldistribution of resources. I will fight for education. So, 1, the needs of the district. 2, education. 3, my first job out of law school was bond finance work on Wall Street, so I know money. And I will tell you, the first thing I heard when I moved back here was that the teacher retirement system was underfunded. None of our state pensions are adequately funded, and they're trying to combine them. Our seniors deserve to walk out of their jobs with a check they're promised and not have it snatched from them down the road. So that's my number 3. And what is number 4? The needs of the district. You come first, you come last. This woman belongs in the house. I am passionate, I am sensible, and I'm committed to serve. My career has been had and made. This is not about money, status, or resume building. You will not make a mistake. I make you 2 promises. You will see me a lot between now and when I come back in 2 years and ask you to vote for me again. I will listen more than I talk, and I will never, ever embarrass you. District 99, this woman belongs in the House.
All right.
A recent article written by an Oklahoma social justice activist cited payday loan companies as one of the high costs of being poor in Oklahoma. The Oklahoma legislature authorized payday lending in 2003. Interest rates on payday loans can spiral to 500% of the original loan. 500% of the original loan. What are your thoughts? What can be done to help Oklahomans living in poverty and facing difficult financial decisions?
One of the things I would like to see happen in District 99, and District 99 will be the best district in the state of Oklahoma, is cooperation amongst the people and cooperation on the various levels of government. I don't know how many times people will come up to you and say, well, I don't have any sidewalks. And you sort of look at them and go, do they not understand that city government? Or they'll come up to you and they'll say, well, the bridges are bad over here. And they'll say that to the wrong person. We need to start out with the education. I will tell you, sadly, it looks as though we may have already lost one generation, and if we don't get it together, we are about to lose the second. 8 years ago, I was told the black male graduation rate in Tulsa was 25%. So the first thing we need to do to help people is to make sure our educational system functions and functions well. The next thing we need to do is we need to understand how to pool our resources. There was a time when you were really down, out, and destitute. You went to your church, and your church helped you out. And our churches are going to have to start helping, sharing buildings and things, and giving loans to people. Let me tell you something else that can happen. Private people, there was a lady with whom I worked in the U.S. Attorney's Office. And I asked her how she could afford the house that she had. And you know what she said to me? There was a lady who had money. And back when the interest rates were not very high, that woman made loans to people for homes. We have a lot of people who have money sitting in banks, and at this point, nobody's even getting 1% on it. We need to have people do private lending, and that would help out our poverty rate. But let me tell you something about this payday loans. It is a sin that the legislature has allowed, and it is the legislature that sets the maximum interest rates in each state. When they were pushing credit cards a lot back here, maybe 15 years ago, you guys remember North Dakota, South Dakota, and South Carolina is where a lot of the credit cards were. They had the smallest interest rates, the lowest interest rates. Oklahoma at that time was stuck more like 19 to 25%. Now we have 500%. That is a sin. The Bible says you're not even supposed to charge a person interest. We're supposed to be not only the Bible Belt, but the buckle of the Bible Belt. Why are we not over there telling our pastors, and why are we not over there saying, we say we're Christians, how about we not act like it? This is a sin. And you can count on me introducing a lowering of the, in fact, I don't even like payday lenders. I want them out of my community. And if they're not going to get out of my community, I'm not going to give them a chance to do 500% interest. So I think we can have private lending. I think our churches can help, and we can get this done.